We're just going to do a brief little talk here. I'm Hailey. I'm the artist tonight. This is my Bikes Are the Future show. And yeah. Thank you so much for coming. It really means a lot to me. Art is so key to my mental health. And I'm also an art therapist. And so there were many years after I went to art school that I stopped making art. And it's been a long road back to making art. And art shows are one of the things that really help me to have like a deadline, something to work towards. And it really helps me to get creating regularly. So thank you so much for coming and supporting my show. Make sure you go in the hallway as well. There's a bunch of prints that I got framed at Bijan's. And yeah, I really don't have anything planned that I was gonna say, but I thought it would be a good time. And Luis actually asked me, could I do like a soft launch of my Unseen Commuters booklet? And it's a culmination of, well, I'll let you say more about it, but it's a culmination of a lot of work you were doing for Pillar. And obviously both Luis and I, one of our passions is cycling, and making it accessible for all, like all ages and abilities, mobility justice. And London's gotten better since, like I grew up in London since I was 8, and it's come a long way since then, but we have so much further to go. We need our bike lanes to continue and not end in the middle of nowhere. We need, I want my parents to feel safe cycling. I want kids to feel safe cycling. And we all know that we need to change our ways. And that's why my motto is bikes are the future. Like it's just, so my art is really a vision of, I use art as a way to envision a better future, like something beyond what we have right now. And so yeah, that's a little bit about me. And Luis is my partner. And can you give them a little background on the?
Yes, I have some notes. I will try to be brief. Did you finish?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Good night and good evening. Good evening. Before I start, I really want to say how proud I am of Hailey. And this is her night. This is her show. I thought it could be a good fit, and I hope you see the connection between our work with what I'm sharing today. But it's really inspiring to me to be her partner and to witness the creation of all those pieces and to really understand deeply where they come from, how art can be that language that transcends barriers and can touch and speak deeply about the issues that we care about. And we don't have to use a lot of words. That's my art language to convey such important messages. So thank you, Hailey, for your art, and thanks for letting me say a few words tonight. So as you said, I want to give a little bit of context, and you kind of touched on that. The booklet, The Unseen Commuters Navigating Injustice and Urban Mobility, is a project by Pillar Nonprofit Network. And I coordinated the project in my role when I'm still working at Pillar, but in my role as a manager of a program. And this booklet was entirely 100% funded by the federal government, by the SDG unit, the Sustainable Development Goals unit under the federal government. And that's how we got resources to do so many things that involved in this project. And we also have quite a few partners. We had Crouch Neighborhood Resource Center, we have the City of London, we have staff, we have London Cycle Link, we have Crashy from Western, we have quite a few partners. And it took a year and a half to get this done. And really, what sparked the project was traffic collision, a traffic fatality that happened a few years ago when Jibin Benoy, immigrant from India, was killed by a person driving a car. And there was, the community really wanted to come together and do something about it. And we did a few things right when it happened. We put up a ghost bike. By the way, Hailey has a ghost bike print too, so I hope you have a chance to see and check it out. We did a ride to City Hall to try to raise awareness to the issue, but we didn't stop there. And Crouch was really instrumental in those initial stages and putting together an online survey to hear about what people were thinking about, how things could be different, what should we do, what other problems we had. Then we had a town hall, and the ward councilor came, Hadley McAllister, and he was very supportive of the project. Folks at City Hall, Daniel Hall, Doug McRae came to support. The BIA was part of the conversation. We had workshops, so it was a long journey to get to this book. And because of the nature of the SDGs and that interconnection with so many things, the project really grew beyond road violence and the Hamilton Road area. It became a citywide project and became about mobility justice, which include many more things other than safety and being hurt or killed on the roads. And yeah, so this is the book. The book has 9 stories. They are fictional stories, but all the information, all the facts are real. They are collected from the testimonials that we got during the project. And then it also has some data, like we wanted to have that quality aspect to the book, but we added some data to back up that information and really understand how big that issue is. And as I said, we had a few workshops and meetings with the city, so we also included some lessons learned and even next steps that we can take on how to improve things, how to make things better. So I want to take a few minutes to read a story, and actually, if it's not too boring, I might read 2, because I want to read one of the challenging stories, but I want to read a vision of the future, which I think it's what really aligns with Hailey's art show, Bikes Are the Future. I'm gonna read the story of Rose. 41 years together. It's a long time. 3 months out of that is a drop. 3 months is how long my husband Helmut was sick. In a blink, he was gone. Forever is permanent. And this is how my grief feels. Though I pride myself on my independence, old age is a force that slowly increases its grip, while it greedily steals chunks of it away from me. In a place that used to feel like home, the rooms and the furnishings are the same as before he left. Being retired with a decent pension and without my helmet, there was nothing keeping me in my city anymore. I moved from Vancouver to London to be closer to my 41-year-old daughter, Helen, and my 7-year-old grandson, Luke. In a matter of months, most of my things, objects infused with our life's memories, were thrown away or sold. I arrived with what was remaining of my life packed into a few suitcases. I tried to busy myself with the things that bring me joy and help with Luke. I need to, because sadness is always quietly lingering around now, and deep sorrow likes to appear unexpectedly and drown hope. During the weekdays when Helen was at work and Luke was at school, I went to church, the Jalna Library Branch, art exhibitions at Museum London, Tap Art Center, or the Forest City Gallery, and different cafes around the city. In the evenings or weekends, when I wasn't visiting Helen or looking after Luke, I would go to watch plays at the Grand Theater and films at the Highland Cinema, a cozy and independent movie theater. Then it happened. I had a stroke. Probably caused by all the stress of losing the love of my life and moving to a completely different city. My recovery was quick. I am physically healthy. But it affected my vision permanently, and I'm not allowed to drive anymore. Because of that, I started to feel loneliness and isolation stack like heavy bricks on my shoulders atop the existing grief that clings to me. All I can do now is to go for short walks that I come home from sooner than I wished, because even though I'm quite shy, I do enjoy being out among people, and there are no cafes or theaters, which I really enjoy, that I can get to easily on my walks. Helen helps as best as she can, taking care of both me and Luke while working full-time. I thought I would be helping her. Now I feel like a burden. I get a cab every now and then, but it's pretty expensive to use it every day. So I try paratransit, not only to get around, but so I can feel useful. So I can feel like myself. I don't feel like myself though. I rarely go out at all during the week. When I call to book paratransit, it takes hours to get through on the phone. I get a busy signal, and when I finally get through after calling dozens of times, I can be on hold for a really long time. LTC says one can book paratransit up to 3 days in advance. But what is the point if by the time I get through, the time slot I need is already taken? I'm exhausted and frustrated, but the number of times I hear, "I'm sorry," and unfortunately, when I'm just trying to get to an appointment or pick up a few items. So I give up. Now I sit alone for much of each day. I don't mind alone. I'm shy. But no church, no library, no cafes, no concerts, no movies, no art shows, no visiting my daughter. This, in addition to losing my husband, leaving my memories and leaving my home. Alone can be a state of being that one chooses. The idea of paratransit seemed like a sound option that I could choose. However, it's not much of a choice. I didn't choose loneliness and isolation. That's Rose. And to try to cheer us up a little bit, I want to read the one story that I wrote about, and I co-wrote with others, about alternative future, where things can be different, where London can be different. In London, Ontario, the city's heart beats with a chorus of laughter, chatter, and the gentle whirring of bicycles. On this crisp morning, Maria steps out with her 3-year-old son, John, ready to face the day. "I'm not 2 anymore, Mommy. I'm a big boy now. No stroller. I want to walk." Thankfully, the bus stop is a short walk away. The well-lit sidewalks and accessible parks made their strolls not just safe, but a cherished routine, perfect for John, who is curious and active and loves being outside. As a single parent, balancing the demands of being a mom and work, London's public transit system is very helpful for Maria and John, which they use for getting to work and daycare. Though they live outside the city's core, Maria can get most things done near their house. There's an affordable grocery store, a small library, a playground, a drugstore, even a local theater, and a few different restaurants where she can get some takeout when there's no time for cooking. John loves to watch all kinds of plays. Because of that, she gets at home at a decent time and spends precious quality time with John until his bedtime at 7:30 p.m. This is important to her because she knows that time flies and kids grow up fast. How is he already 3 years old? I'll finish someone, I'll pass to you. Ahmed, a recent immigrant, has deep appreciation for London. He arrived alone from his homeland and misses his family, who he will be reunited with here in a few months. Coming here and integrating into the city was a significant adjustment, so he explores the city as much as possible to get to know what will now be home. Ahmed remembers his first day here and stepping off the plane with a suitcase filled with dreams and uncertainties. London's all ages and abilities extensive cycling network planted a sense of hope for a new beginning. With a map in hand, confidently hopped on a bicycle, whisking him through vibrant neighborhoods and diverse cultural hubs. Since then, Ahmed has lost count of all the places he has visited, including community centers, events, local attractions. He enthusiastically shares his adventures with his family back home, and he cannot wait until he gets to share these experiences together when they finally arrive. He feels safe here. There are plenty of pedestrian-friendly spaces, and he has made friends that he knows will last a lifetime. It has helped him start to feel like a part of the community. In a sense, London isn't just a city. It's Ahmed's welcome companion on his journey to a new life.
Mr. Wilson, a spirited independent senior, and Maya, a friendly 21-year-old student, find a shared haven within London's pedestrian-friendly embrace. On this unusually warm winter Saturday morning, Mr. Wilson strolls along accessible sidewalks that journey through his neighborhood. The neighborhood is an extension of his home. There are cafes, shops, and public spaces within reach. Maya glides easily with her wheelchair along the same paths, enjoying the warmth of the sun in the clear sky. Mr. Wilson and Maya's paths meet shortly at a community center, which is a lively place in the middle of their 15-minute neighborhood. London's dedication to inclusivity shines here. There are accessible workshops, art classes, and social events offering something for all their diverse residents. Beside the community center is a park designed with accessible pathways and benches. It is a shared oasis for Londoners. A few families are in the sensory garden. Two toddlers become fast friends over the discovery of fallen pine cones. The garden's wind chimes, children's laughter, and bits of conversation feel like a perfect film score for this scene. It's better than that, though, because it's real. Mr. Wilson spots Maya and waves hello to her. They met here for the first time one summer. Maya was reading a book in the shade of her favorite tree, which happened to be where Mr. Wilson's favorite bench is. "Hello there, do you mind if I sit here?" Mr. Wilson asked politely. Though he wasn't wearing a hat, Maya was amused that she could hear the tipping of his imaginary hat in his greeting. "Of course," she said, smiling. "This is my favorite spot of all the spots in this park." "Know why?" asked Mr. Wilson, with a twinkle in his eye. A pause. Then, coincidentally, "You feel life here," they say at the same time. Their eyes widen in surprise at each other's reply, and they smile widely now at each other. Right there, under their favorite bench, under their favorite tree, sparked a genuine connection. They have been friends since then. London's commitment to walkability and accessibility is more than just urban planning. It is the foundation of a genuine connection between individuals from different walks of life. For Mr. Wilson and Maya, as well as for their neighbors, it is a nurturing ecosystem, creating a tapestry of shared experiences that contribute to their well-being, community, and belonging.
Thanks, everyone. So one last thing, as I said, this is an opportunity that I had through Pillar to do this project, was funded. That funding cycle ended. So I probably won't be doing anything more about this particular project in my role at Pillar. But it did inspire me to take a big decision. It really showed me how important that issue is to me. And in September this fall, I'm starting a PhD at Western with the Geography Department in Urban Studies. And my research will be mobility justice. Will be pretty much taking an even deeper dive in sharing, in understanding, and advocating for those stories to be heard and to be addressed. So one last thing is we do have a sign up. So if you want to sign up for my newsletter, I'm planning to write once a week, and I started last week, so we already have 2 posts about this. So you can sign up for that newsletter on the table right there. And then you can sign up for Hailey's newsletter that is also weekly.
Yes, it's weekly, and I write a lot about social justice, art therapy, and cycling.
Yes.
And I really want to say, are you done?
I'm done.
I want to let's give a big round of applause and thank you to the London Bicycle Cafe for hosting this. It's an awesome space. If you haven't sat out on that patio on when the weather is nice, it is like my favorite spot now in London. This is already becoming such an amazing community hub, and yeah, enjoy the evening. Okay.
Thanks everyone.